Hey everyone, CV back with another video. In this quick video we're going to be making a liquidity pool, and so I'm starting out here on our Omni Exchange homepage. And before I actually start to create the pool, I'm going to go up here into the main navigation in the top right and check out my positions, because I currently do have a position open. So from here you can see that I could look at all pools, or I could just view my positions that I currently have open, and that's what we're looking at now. So in this one you can see that I have pending rewards. Now rewards are paid out 3 times daily at 8, 16 and 24 hours UTC time. So 3 times daily you're going to be paid out your rewards. You can see here where those rewards are going to be. Mine are going to be on the base chain. I've got 32.38 Omni pending to claim, and that has a value of $24.49 currently. I can filter out my positions if I had a lot by choosing what network I want to see. I could break it down through our flux, which is our V4, V3 pools only, or V2 pools. What tokens I want to see, again, if I just want to narrow that down, or if I have active, inactive, or closed. Inactive would be pools that are still open but out of range, and closed would be pools that have been shut down. You can see that the current pool that I have, or the current position of the pool that I'm in, is an ETH Omni pairing on base chain. My value, my position is a little over $1,500. Currently paying an APR of 199%. This fluctuates based on how much liquidity is available at the time. It's showing you my range of this position, and it's pretty much split right now. It's got the price of Omni per ETH, the minimum and the maximum, and I can flip these around and make changes here. It's a V3 pool, and the fee tier is 0.25%. I've earned an additional dime, 10 cents in LP fees since I've been in this, which has not been very long, and I've already earned this amount of money. So that's really cool. So now I'm going to go up back to the main navigation in the top left, and I'm going to create a position. I'm going to create another V3 pool, and I want ETH and Omni. There we go. We'll select those. We'll press next. Now from here we have a lot of choices of things we can do. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that the token pairing is correct, and in this case we're going to use Wrapped Ethereum and Omni. And the fee tier. Now right now 58% are picking the 1% fee tier level. I'm going to drop it down to 0.25%. Now, if I said no, I don't want to get into these type of range situations that are associated with V3, I could just switch over to a V2 pool, which is 50-50% of each of the assets. So 50% Ethereum, 50% Omni. But we're not doing that. We're making a V3 pool. Now I can go down and choose how much of the available wrapped Ethereum I have, and with these buttons I could add the tokens to my wallet if I didn't have Omni in my wallet already. You can do it through copying the contract address, or you could just press, in this case, the little MetaMask balance. This is showing me the current balance of wrapped Ethereum that I have, which is 0.04. And then the balance of Omni tokens I have, which is 169 of those tokens. These buttons represent how much of this total of my balance do I want to use to create this position. So I'm going to use about 50%. Let's call it 25. So 0.025% of a wrapped Ethereum, and then that will give me the corresponding amount of Omni at this current range, but we're going to adjust that a little bit. So I like to do about 20 something percent on each side. I think that gives you a good range. It can absorb some dips. This amount is completely up to you. As I narrow or expand my range, my APR shown up here is going to fluctuate as well. right? We do have a settings button here, which we can adjust our slippage tolerance. How long will we wait to do a transaction that may be hung, or switch over to expert note mode if we want. We can also see any recent transactions that we may have done. We can zoom in or zoom out on this chart, depending on how narrow or wide we want to do it. Down here we have the minimum price of Omni per wrapped Ethereum, and then the maximum price. That's being reflected here. So as we move these things, you can see these numbers will change. But like I said, I like to keep it in the low 20s. I think that absorbs it and gives me a good APR. In this case, 323%, which is almost 1% daily. Now again, if we wanted to keep these, we can adjust these manually if we wanted. So right now I have minus 20% and 21%. Maybe I just want to keep it at 20. I could type that in and apply it, and now it's an equal 20%. I don't have enough Omni balance to cover this. I would need 179 tokens, so I'm going to have to reduce the range here until I can get it back into a place where I have enough Omni to cover it, which this does. And you can tell that because the add button becomes clickable at this point. Now, I have added and already allowed the contract to access my wrapped Ethereum and my Omni token. If you haven't done this, you'll likely see 3 buttons here, which will be approve the wrapped Ethereum, approve the Omni, and then add the position. So I don't have to do that. I've already done it on my previous position that I showed you earlier. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these totals in now. I'll be adding $113 worth of wrapped Ethereum and $125 worth of Omni tokens. So let's add those. This will again just give me a little recap of everything that I'm doing. The amounts of Ethereum, Omni, the fee tier. I can switch these back and forth if I want to see a different pricing, where I'd want to see Ethereum to Omni, the opposite of what it's displaying now, and the current price of Omni per ETH. So like I said, this is 6,000 currently. It allows for a little dip and a little spike, and I like this range at that APR. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with that and press add. I'm supplying this. My MetaMask opens up, tells me everything I'm doing. I'm going to confirm that, and then just wait for this to be finished. There we go. We got our confirmation. Everything's good to go. We can close that, and we did it. We made our position. So I'm going to go back up to the main navigation here and go back to my positions where we were previously. Check that, and we should see our new pool populate with the other one. And there we go. We have our 2. This was the initial one that we had at the $1,500 in value, and now we have our new one with the $240 worth of value, and the APRs corresponding. So that was a wider range. I just accidentally clicked that button. There we go. So we can see that this one, it had a wider range, so the APR is lower. This range was a little bit tighter on this pool, so that's why the APR is higher. And it will be the same thing. We can come back after at any time and claim these rewards. I'm just going to let these run for a bit and build up my Omni rewards. So that's it for this video. I hope that was helpful. If we wanted to remove one of these, I'm going to do that in another video to keep these as short as possible. But that's it for this one. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.